Yeah, so welcome to the class of one. Basically, let's go over some things that you might know or might not know. First off, it's hybrid till at least Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
It might be hybrid after we get back. In fact, they said that it's probably going to be hybrid for 2 weeks after we get back even. So we're going to be doing this kind of style. I plan when we get back from Thanksgiving break, but not till then, to start doing the labs. Once we get back from after Thanksgiving break, for the in-class portion, online will always probably be worksheet-ish things.
Yeah. Excellent.
Have you seen the Wednesday schedule?
The 9 to 9:25.
Yeah. Yeah. You're good on that. So I'll have to put that up there. And I'm just going to go over this real fast because you're here and you can probably spread the word, probably not. I don't know. But if you go online, and this is for Thursday and Friday for you, there's these lessons that are going to be online. So when you click them, you're going to have a worksheet. In your guys' case, it's going to be different than this, and a video. Here's yours. Here's your worksheet. Your video's right here.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
There's a problem playing this video. Huh. And this video is basically this one right here, which is just me being a goober and showing you conservation momentum for 2 dimensions. Which is also what we're going to learn today, but it's more practice.
Okay.
So Thursday and Friday, you only have to do these 2 problems. The video goes over this problem so you know how to solve it.
Okay.
Spread the word, because I don't know how effective the email was that we sent out to everyone.
I got it, so.
I don't know how effective the email was that we sent out to everyone.
I know you said one at, what, 10:30 at night?
Yeah, I just finished editing the video last night. So I had to send it around then. So, today we're going to go over these problems here. We're going to go over one of them together, and then we're going to go ahead and let you do the rest yourself. You only have to do the front. The back is not going to be required ever for your class. Which is going to be same for everyone who might be watching when this video is played. So these videos, these problems are going to be of conservation momentum in 2 dimensions. Normally, you had a car going forward and backwards and they smash into each other. It's head-on collision. Now you're going to have this. You have a car that is 1,000 kilograms going south at 20 meters per second. You got a second car that's going 1,200 meters per second going east. These 2 vehicles then collide and entangle in a head-on collision. What is the velocity immediately after collision? So this is different, right? Because this time you have this first car, which is going south, right? How fast is it going south?
20 miles per second.
Yeah, 20 meters per second. And what's its mass?
1,000.
1,200. Yeah, 1,000. Yeah, you're right. 1,000. And the second car is going west. East. Oh man, I'm just bad this morning. East. 1,200, and it is also going 20. This 20, right? It's going south. South is down. Should that be negative or positive?
Negative.
Yes. So now we have the setup, right? You have 2 cars that are traveling at each other. Except unlike normal, you have one car that is going what we call up and down. One car that is going what we call east and west, right? So this is different than normal. Because normally we had them just going in one, only X or only Y. Anyway, sometime later, they collide over here. They smash into each other, right? And this car mass of their combined masses goes which way do you think? That way? That way? That way?
That way.
Yeah, that way, right? Yeah, this way. Which intuitively makes sense. Your goal is to figure out what speed it has going that way. Which is different, because you have to do something a little bit more complicated than normal, right? So to figure this out, you got a y speed, right? And you have an x speed. So yes, of course, this means triangles. But since they collide and fuse and entangle, whatever word you prefer, what kind of collision is this? Is it elastic or inelastic? It's elastic if they bounce.
Okay.
So if they tangle, it's going to be inelastic, right?
Okay.
That's fine. But this is inelastic. And the hint for this is that all of these problems, when they're ever going to be like this, are going to be inelastic. We won't do elastic this way. Because it makes the math a lot more complicated. And you're not close to plus physics. That's the difference you guys have. So next, it's inelastic. So that means that we have inelastic. We have inelastic in two directions, right? We have inelastic in the x direction, which we're going to start with, and inelastic in the y direction. For the x direction, we want to write down the equation for inelastic. What's the equation?
M1I V1I plus M2I
Yeah.
V2I
Yep.
equals MV.
MV, big M, big V. This equation. Now you plug in numbers. This first car's, we're going to call this one car 1, we'll call this car 2. So this is car 1, this is car 2. The first car's speed in the x direction is what?
In the what?
In the x direction is what?
Oh, 20.
Yeah, what's its mass?
1,200.
1,200. Second car's speed in the x direction is what? I mean, yeah, x direction.
Negative 20.
Negative 20? But is that in the x direction? Is that in the x direction?
Oh, then
Is that-
it would be 0.
Yeah, 0 this time, right? So this is going to be 0, and that's equal to big M, big V. Big M is what? How do we get that? Well, you have these two masses, right? And they fuse.
M1F plus M2F.
Yeah, you just add the masses. So it's going to be 1,000 plus 1,200. So you have 2,200. V. Big V. You want to solve for big V. The only difference that we have to write, because this is the x direction, is that this is an x speed, right? So just be big V x. Now you want to solve for it, so you divide both sides by 2,200. So I'm going to cancel some zeros before I divide, because that's easier. I'm going to divide by 22 because 22 is all that's left on this side. You can get 12 times 20 divided by 22. 20 divided by 22 is almost 1, a little bit less. That's times 12. So I'm going to say that it's probably something like 10.9 meters per second, roughly. If you have a calculator, you can check that. I do not. So that's probably approximately 10.9 meters per second. That's our first part of the answer. While you're checking that, I'm going to start the second part, which is solving the y direction. 10.9? Oh, dang.
0.09.
0.09.
0.909.
So it's 10.9 roughly.
Yeah.
Cool. There we go. So next you want to do the same equation, right? It's inelastic. Just because it's x or y doesn't change the fact that it's still inelastic, right? So you're going to use the same equation this time. Except this time there's going to be something that's slightly different, but not much. Big M, big V. So this time the speed in the first car in the y direction is what?
0.
Yeah, this time since we're doing y direction, this is 0, but this is not. So this is 1,000 times 20, right? And that's equal to the combined masses, which you said was 2,200. So we just write that again, 2,200 times big V. Except this time, since it's the y direction, you want a big V y. And then you solve for big V y. Divide both sides by the 22 again, because you're going to cancel zeros and divide by 22. And you get 10 times 20 divided by 22. Again, 20 divided by 22 is almost 1, but not quite. Then that's times 10, so it's going to be 9. 9. Nine meters per second. So now you know that this right here is 9, and that this right here is 10.9. So you have 10.9 and 9. You want to solve for V, right? Big V is the thing right here, right? So how do you solve for this big V right here?
Not cosine.
Not cosine that. We don't have an angle.
Oh.
It's a right triangle though. It's a hypotenuse.
Sorry.
You're fine. It's the Pythagorean theorem. So a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So big B squared is equal to 10.9 squared plus 9 squared, which is the same thing as the square root of 10.9 squared plus 9 squared, because you want to square root both sides of the square there. So at that point, that's 11 squared plus 9 squared, so that's like 121 plus that. It's almost 200, then you square root that, so that's between 14 and 15, so that's going to be like 14.5-ish, I would guess, except you have a calculator. So you might want to check my answer. I'm going to guess approximately 14.5. So I'm literally doing something called kind of like bartering the answer there.
14.1.
14.1? That's close. It's 14.1. And there you go. So that is how you solve one of these in 2 dimensions. This time you had an x and a y. They combined to give you something that's neither. You have to solve for it using the Pythagorean theorem at the end. For almost all our problems will probably be something that looks like this.